So you've tried different sunscreen brands and none seem to be working for you. If it's not irritating you, it's probably making you darker or giving you white cast, and you're just tired of all things sunscreen and you're ready to give up. But hey, you are watching this video and I'm about to show you what sunscreens you should buy if you have a dark skin tone. After this mini masterclass on sunscreens, you will be able to decide which sunscreens is best for you. So we are talking all things sunscreen today, and I have some recommendations for you.
Hola.
Hello and welcome back, friends. And if you're just seeing this hot chocolate for the first time, hey, this is Tinola, and on this channel I share valuable content. I'm all about making you look your best, feel your best, and live your best life. So please consider joining this thriving family by clicking on that subscribe button down below. Now, in today's video, we're going to get into all things sunscreen for dark skin tone. If you're tired of searching for the perfect sunscreen for you after trying dozens of sunscreen, well, I'm pretty sure you'll find this video helpful. The first thing we want to do is to get into the basics, because you need to understand why you even use sunscreens in the first place and what they are and what to look out for when you're buying a sunscreen. So as a dark skin person, you naturally have melanin in your body, which helps you with sun protection. However, your melanin is not enough for sun protection, and we do understand that the more you stay in the sun, the more you're prone to skin cancer. Yes, dark people also get skin cancer. It's lesser than the white population, but we do have cases of skin cancer in the black population. So there's that chance of skin cancer and sunburn, and the worst that nobody wants to hear, aging. Many of us struggle with hyperpigmentation. We want a more even skin tone, and we want our skin to look young and glowy. If you want all of that, you do need to use sunscreen. Your natural melanin will not cut it. It wouldn't be enough. And I know when it's summer period, everyone's going crazy about sunscreen. In fact, at the end of spring, everyone is looking for the new sunscreen to buy. But the truth is, you do not only use sunscreen during summer. You need to use sunscreen all year round. As long as it's daytime, you use your sunscreen. Why is that? Because as long as there's light and there's sun out there, even on cloudy days, that daylight has UVA and UVBs penetrating it. UVA and UVBs are what causes skin burn and skin aging. So that's why you use sunscreen. So for UVAs, they penetrate your body deeper. And when you see your sunscreens, you see some of them, they'll say broad spectrum UVA or UVB rays. UVA penetrates your skin deeper than UVB. So the UVA rays will penetrate into your dermis. That is what makes your skin wrinkle and age faster. Yes, the parts of you that you expose more to the sun will age faster. UVB rays penetrate your epidermis and they cause skin burn. So B for burn and A for aging. The best sunscreen to use are the sunscreens that actually target both of these rays. What you want is a broad spectrum sunscreen. There's also another ray of light called the blue light or HEV light. That is gotten from your screen, like your phones, but you don't need to worry about that because that light is not strong enough to cause you hyperpigmentation. So that's the first thing to look for in your sunscreen. Now the second thing is your SPF factor. So that's the sun protection factor. When you look at sunscreens, they'll tell you SPF 50, SPF 30, SPF 80. Some even say SPF 100. Listen, if you're seeing SPF 100, you don't need to bother. That is more like just marketing, because the truth is you don't need SPF 100. I think the SPF ranges up to about 97% in terms of protection intensity, protection levels. Don't quote me on that, but the ideal SPF for you as a dark skinned person, I would say, is between 50 to about 70 SPF. The reason why I say that is because I know a lot of sunscreen have just SPF 30, and it's still okay for you to use those. However, the more the better. If it's between 50 and 70, you know you're getting enough protection. The thing about these SPF levels is there are some companies, there was an article I read about some companies, right? What they do is they put about 30 SPF or 50 SPF in their products, but the truth is it's only about half of that amount that they actually put. So to be on the safer side, it's just better for you to go from 50 to 70. So look for a higher SPF 40, 50, 60, 70 are ideal SPF for you as a dark skin person. Now I know some products, especially makeup products, skincare products, they have SPF in them, which means they are giving a dual purpose, what the product is for, if it's a beauty or a makeup product, and some protection, which is okay, but don't be deceived by that. You still need to use your sunscreen even when you use those products. Why? Because you wouldn't be able to apply enough sunscreen onto your body, onto that part of your body when you use that product. So the quantity of sunscreen to apply on your body ideally is about this cup full, or about 3 fingers. So you apply your sunscreen onto 3 fingers, and that's the quantity of sunscreen you should be applying on your face. All right, so what are the types of sunscreen we have? Now this is the part that people go crazy. We have 3 types of sunscreen, actually 3. 3 types of sunscreen. We have the mineral, the chemical, and the hybrid sunscreen. Now the hybrid sunscreen is a newer version. It's not as common as the other 2. It's a combination of chemical and physical sunscreen ingredients. That's pretty much it. I really like hybrid sunscreens because the formula seems to be really good, and one good recommendation is this SPF 50. It's a hybrid sunscreen. It has both chemical and mineral sunscreen, and I definitely recommend it. Now for physical sunscreens, which I've really struggled to love, I've tried to love physical sunscreens. The thing about physical sunscreens, also known as mineral sunscreens, is that they are physically protecting you against the sun, which means it's kind of like you're putting a coat on your body. You're putting something on your body to block the sun from penetrating into your skin, and I really love how they work. But the problem with physical sunscreen is it gives you a white cast. There's no how a physical sunscreen will not give you a white cast. Well, actually there is a way. Some of these companies are beginning to get around how to make physical sunscreens that do not give you a white cast. But ideally, because of the ingredients that are in physical mineral sunscreens, like zinc oxide and titanium dioxide, those ingredients are naturally white, and they tend to give you white cast, especially as a dark skinned person. It's not the end of the world. Some of them are not as bad, but if you don't want stress, you might not like physical sunscreens. Now, physical sunscreens are absolutely safe for you to use, and most people tolerate them very well. Some physical sunscreens I absolutely love are Mineral Face Stick Sunburn. Ooh, that's a lot. Sunscreen is good. Other ones I've used and love, like Paula's Choice, La Roche-Posay, which is this. I don't really like this one because it does give me a white cast. Some people have argued that it doesn't give them white cast. These are also dark skinned women. It's different on different skin tone, even if you're a dark skinned person. Like there are some skin texture and skin tone for dark skin that it will give white cast. Like it gives me white cast, but I've seen it on other dark women that it doesn't really give them white cast. So I really don't know what it is about that particular sunscreen, but it does give white cast for me. And I'll be linking other recommended mineral sunscreen products. I've shared this before on my social media, and if you guys are not following me on TikTok, Instagram, this is the right time for you to do so. Baby girl, follow me real quick. Why not? Anyway, mineral sunscreens are good for you, but if you don't like the stress of the white cast, the application, you might consider chemical sunscreens. For chemical sunscreens, they've also improved on the formulas, and initially people were complaining about the ingredients. Some of the ingredients that were added initially in some chemical sunscreens were harmful, which they've discontinued a lot of them. And I've used chemical sunscreens, mineral sunscreens, and hybrid sunscreens. So I do know that there are some chemical sunscreens that are really good. Some people complain that chemical sunscreens causes heat in their body. For chemical sunscreens, some of the main ingredients are avobenzone, homosalate, octinosalate, if I'm calling them right. So with chemical sunscreens, they penetrate into your skin, they get absorbed into your body, yes, but once again, most of them are pretty safe. Some people have complained of irritation on their skin after using chemical sunscreen. Some people say they get heat, they get darker, there's burning around their eyes. Those are some of the complaints you get from chemical sunscreen, but it's not bad. It's definitely a good recommendation. My hubby currently uses one, which is the Supergroup chemical sunscreen, and this is pretty good. It's easy to apply. Another great chemical sunscreen recommendation I have here is Natrium. That's the Dew Glow sunscreen. and I personally use this one. It's great for those with dry skin. One of the issues I had with this La Roche-Posay is it feels dry, and I think it would be great for those with oily skin. Another sunscreen I want to mention here is the Heliocare Mineral Fluid. When I saw this sunscreen, it reminded me of Bio, which is the Asian sunscreen. I'll still touch on Korean sunscreens, but what I really liked about this particular mineral sunscreen is it doesn't really give white cast, and the consistency is great. It's very moisturizing for my dry skin. However, the problem with this brand is I got it from a third-party website from the US. And when it came, so listen guys, when you buy your sunscreens online or in the store, you want to make sure you check the expiration date, because sunscreens also expire. Yes, when this came, there was no expiry date on it, but I still went ahead to use it. Don't ask me why. Unfortunately, it smelled like something that I would not mention in this video. It smells so bad. I was first in denial that it wasn't expired, because I'm like, why would they sell me something expired? So you definitely want to open up your sunscreen once you buy it online. Check if it has expiration dates. If it doesn't, return it. Return it. That's pretty much it. Return it. Don't waste time. Don't think twice. Return it. So now that we know what to look for in our sunscreens, we know the kind of sunscreens to look for depending on our skin tone, depending on our skin texture. If you have an oily skin or a dry skin, you want to look at the ingredients and the formula of the sunscreen. For example, if you have a sensitive skin, you might prefer to go with a mineral sunscreen and go with something that has a higher percentage of zinc oxide. Like a 7% zinc oxide is pretty much okay, because zinc oxide itself does two things, or maybe more, but one thing it will do is to protect you against the sun, and the other thing is it has calming properties. So that is good for those with sensitive, and for those that have dry skin or oily skin, you want to look at the other ingredients that are included in the sunscreen. Some sunscreens come in a cream form, some come in an oil form. Yes, a sunscreen like K-Skin, they have very good oil formulas, which I'm still going to check out. That's the next sunscreen I'm going for in Sephora, but it's a good sunscreen based off of what I've seen so far. It's from a black creator, a black model, influencer, celebrity, whatever. You know, she's beautiful, she's awesome, I love her. So you guys can check out K-Skin. They sell it at Sephora. It's a new sunscreen brand, and I really like how they formulated their products. Some sunscreens also come in a stick form, which is also okay. I personally don't like using stick sunscreen on my face. I just find that a little bit traumatic. Please let me know if you can relate to that. My face is too tender to be using stick sunscreen. Other sunscreens come in a spray form like this. I really love the Neutrogena She Spray sunscreen. This 60 SPF sunscreen is great. It gives your body that glow that you need. Gosh, guys, this thing is so affordable. Like, if you need an affordable good sunscreen, spray sunscreen, very practical when you're outside and you can just spray it on your body. It's a great recommendation. Save your bucks. We also have powdered sunscreen, lip sunscreen like a lip balm with SPF. We also have sunscreens coming in other products, moisturizers, like I said, in your makeup products. And we do have sun protecting pills, supplements that you can take. I've tried a few of them. This one is the one I'm currently taking. I've not really noticed the efficacy in sun pills, maybe because I'm not super sensitive to the sun, but for someone that is more sensitive to sunburn, they might find sun supplements more effective. With your sunscreens, you want to make sure you're applying them every 2 hours, especially if you're outside. If you can consistently do this, you will see that sunscreens actually do work. If you don't, then you might start complaining that it's not working, because it won't work as much as it should. To get the best out of your sunscreen, apply it every 2 hours and be generous with your sunscreen. Even when you're inside your house, as long as you have big glass windows and doors and the light is penetrating into the house, you need to still have your sunscreen on, except from nighttime or if you don't have a lot of light coming into your house. Asian sunscreens are really good. Some of the popular ones that I think you should try out are Bio and Skin Aqua, and let me know the other ones you've tried out that you really like. I've been in that place where I was like, sunscreens don't work for dark people. You will still get dark anyway, you will still get burnt anyway, all of that. But the truth is, it actually does work when I'm more consistent with it. Now, when it comes to getting burnt in the sun as a dark skinned person, if you have a lot of melanin in you, like myself, we don't really get burnt and turn red, right? You get burnt and turn darker. That's the thing. Like, it's more like a tan, which is not bad. I mean, the tans sometimes look good, so don't stress yourself too hard on it. It's just one of those things that happen when you spend a lot of time in the sun. But to reduce that and keep your skin looking young, you need to continue to use your sunscreen. Two consistency tips I will give you for sunscreen is, one, to get an affordable one. If it's too expensive for you, you're just gonna buy it one time and not buy it again. I mean, can you relate? I'm sure some of you can relate. And I've got you on the affordability, because down below in the description box, I have some products linked there, especially sunscreens that I recommend for dark skinned people. So make sure you check the link. The second tip is to have your sunscreens in your handbag. As a woman, have your, see, with the men, I don't know how they are going to do it. I don't know. Some of them, most of them don't even care. They don't care. See, even my husband's sunscreen, I'm the one that sometimes uses it for him. It doesn't, they don't care about sunscreen. It's difficult for them to sometimes reapply the sunscreen. So I've washed my hands off sunscreen for men. But for women, it's easy for you to have it in your handbag. So make sure you get a travel size sunscreen like this that you can easily put in your handbag anywhere you're going and reapply. Or a spray sunscreen, a powder sunscreen, something you can easily reapply outside. Alright guys, that is all for today's sunscreen masterclass. I hope you found this video helpful, and if I did not touch on some things that you have questions on, please let me know down in the comment box below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you learned a thing or two. Also, don't forget to check down the link below in the description box for some sunscreen recommendation. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep shining. Bye guys.